Straykids imagines when you and your husband's games turn into night. Jeongin. Yen were sprawled across the couch with Ian, a mischievous gleam in his eyes as he set his phone down. Let's play Dare Roulette. Simple. I spin this bottle. Whoever it lands on, the other gives them a dare. No refusing, and if you refuse, his gaze flickers. But not on the lips, he said with a wicked grin. He leaned forward and pressed a teasing to his jaw, feeling him shiver under the touch. He stripped it away with no hesitation, leaning back with toned confidence, his dark eyes fixed on her. Round after round, soon the bottle spun one last time and landed on Yen. His voice dropped, husky and commanding. I dare you to let me do whatever I want. From there, the dares disappeared because he took full control. Every move bold, every rougher, every whisper filled the air. That innocent game, leeknow. The night began like any other, just Yen, Minho, and a deck of cards. But with him, there was no such things as just a game. He There, he challenged, trying to sound brave. His eyes gleamed. Sit on my. Don't move until I say so. Yen breath. Minutes stretched the air thick, then his lips brushed her ear, his whisper sharp enough to send shivers down her spine. Now, strong move, he muttered against her mouth, flipping her onto the couch in one swift motion. You just lost. Every day after that, God. By the time the first rays of dawn touched the curtains, her voice was from laughter and whispered, and Minho's was tracing lazy patterns. Seungmin. The rain outside whispered against the windows, the kind of steady rhythm that made the whole room feel slower and softer. Yen and Songmin said, let's play the whisper challenge, he said with a half smile. You'll wear the headphones, I'll say something, and you have to guess it. She slid the headphones on. He laughed quietly, shaking his head. Wrong. He leaned closer. This time she could feel his breath near her cheek. His lips shaped another. When she finally pulled the headphones off, she asked, then what did you say? He met her gaze, steady, deep. I said you drive me. Yen put the headphones on, but this time she couldn't focus on the music or his lips. Only the way he looked at her, he marked. Yen froze, the space between them filled with heat and silence, like the moment before lightning strikes. His gaze flickered from her eyes to her lips. Outside thunder rumbled softly, and he finally smiled, gentle, knowing, and just a little dangerous. Bangchan. The clock struck midnight, but neither of them was even close to sleep. The room was dim, lit only by the soft golden glow of the lamp in the corner. The game had started innocently, truth or dare, but with Jan, nothing ever stayed innocent for long. You lost again. She hesitated for a second, cheeks warm, but his gaze remained unwavering. Slowly, she slipped out of the fabric, and Chan slipped curve into. By the time she was pushed back against the couch, his body hovering over hers, the cards were long forgotten, but she wasn't losing either. She pulled him closer, matching his fire with her own, turning the playful game into something uncontrollable. What started as a dare ended as a wild storm, one neither of them ever wanted to escape. Han. It started with Han's dramatic pout. Let's play a game, he whined, tugging at Yen's sleeve like a kid begging for candy. He smirked, leaning closer. Then you'll see just how far I'm willing to go. The first few rounds were harmless, silly dares. But the game didn't stay innocent for long. Each round got riskier, socks shirt, little by little, until the tension in the room grew thick. When she lost a round, he leaned in, voice low. Come on, baby, be a good sport. His eyes followed every slow movement as she slipped out a little. Han bit his lip, gaze lingering on Yen. Looks like we both lost, he whispered, crawling closer. The cards were forgotten. Later, as she lay tangled in sheets, Jisung's laughter returned, soft and sweet, in her ear. Best game I've ever invented. Changbin. It started with nothing but teasing. Yan and Changbin sprawled across the bed, tossing a bottle back and forth like kids. But then he smirked, eyes narrowed. Let's play truth or dare, he said, voice already daring her to refuse. She rolled her eyes. Fine, dare. His grin was wicked. Come. The command left no room for hesitation. When she settled onto him, his hands immediately wrapped around her, strong and firm. Each round of the game only grew hotter. A that lasted too long, a dare that made Yen blush. Soon the playful laughter. Yen swallowed hard but smirked back. Maybe I like losing. That was all it took. His hand slid her back, his lips capturing. Hours later, they lay tangled together, Yen's laughter soft against his chest. Changbin traced lazy circle on her skin, his voice hyunjin. The living room was quiet, only the sound of the rain outside filling the silence. Hyunjin sat cross-legged on the floor, his long hair falling into his truth or dare, he asked softly, though the sparkle in his eyes told her that he already knew which one she'd pick. Dare. His smile widened. But make me fall in love with you all over again. Yan leaned in against his slowly, tenderly. The game carried on, daring touches, whispered secrets, playful challenges, but each time Hyunjin's lip found it wasn't just four, it was. By the time the cards were forgotten, Jens found herself in his arms on the couch, her laughter mixing with his as he nuzzled in. The night blurred into soft kisses, daring touches, and whispered confessions. It was wild, yes, but also full of warmth. We'll play again tomorrow, he murmured, a sleepy smile curving his lips. But no matter how daring it gets, my heart will always be yours. Felix. Yen and Felix sat cross-legged on the bed, a deck of cards between them. His freckles glowed under the dim fairy lights, and that mischief. Remember the rules, baby? Lose once, one piece comes off, he whispered, his deep voice making her skin heat instantly. The first round she lost, he leaned back, watching her shirt off slowly. His Adam's apple popped as his eyes. Second round he lost. Yen grinned and tugged at his hoodie. He raised his arm, letting her slide it off his toned chest, peeking. By the third loss, it was Yen again. Felix freckles danced as his smile turned darker. He leaned close. His The game went on, piece after piece, tension snapping tighter. Soon both the air between them thick with heat. Felix said an game over, he murmured, lips ghosting over hers, because now I'm going to claim my prize properly. That night his deep voice whispered. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.